Hello everyone, this is Shooting Riser and it's time to rev it up. Now, today I'm gonna make this video my top favorite enemies from the game, from Resident Evil 4. This is also a trivia video for Resident Evil 4 since the new Resident Evil 4 remake is coming and I am super hyped for it. Also, the biggest news that I've heard is that Krauser is going to be cut from the remake itself. He was one of my favorite parts of the main game, of the original game, one of the best boss battles ever, and I hope that doesn't happen. Also, I hope the enemies also get like a revamp at least. I hope that Capcom lives up to the expectation, and I really hope that the enemies are a lot harder this time around. So I hope everyone likes my top favorite enemies list, and it is entirely my favorite list, so I hope it doesn't get anyone upset. And without further ado, let's get started. Number 5, Ganados, or cattle in English. Basically, slaves, essentially. Now, this footage was recorded by a YouTuber, and I will post his YouTube link on the description. I highly recommend watching him, it's so funny. But this is a very good example of why the Ganados are on this top list. They're highly underrated, and I feel like everyone overshadows them. But there's different variations of them, but the main ones from the town are named Don Diego, Don Esteban, Don Jose, Don Manuel, and then the girls are Doña Isabel and Doña Maria. Personally, my personal favorite one is Don Diego. So, and there's also Dr. Salvador, which we'll get into in a minute. But this footage is really funny. A lot of Leons everywhere, Leons for everyone. Now, oh my god, that one exploded. I can't stress this enough. This footage is a pretty good example of how great of enemies they are. They're fun to defeat, they have interesting lore. When you pop their heads, you know that the little plaga thing comes out. This is okay, it looks like he's a little tired. But yeah, you guys get the point. They're pretty awesome, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, number 4, Dr. Salvador. The following footage was created by a YouTuber named Boss Fighter. I highly recommend watching his videos, they have really good quality. Now, this enemy can be quite troublesome for new people. That strategy that he's doing is a really good strategy, shooting him on the knees with the handgun if that's all you have. Grenades work really well. I use flash grenades against them. I hope on the remake they come back. I'm looking at you, Capcom, so it better be there. And but yeah, it's good strategy is to stay always away from him. He's a one-hit kill enemy. If he comes close to you, it can be pretty scary. But otherwise, you know, he can be pretty easy to take down as long as you keep to your distance. Very dangerous in groups. Just stay away from him and keep shooting him. Do not shoot him at the body if possible. It doesn't really do anything to him. He doesn't get stunned very easily. He also gives a really good reward at the end. If you kill him, he'll give you like a big ruby or something else. Something with that value. Shoot him in the head, shoot him in the neck. Knees works best with the handgun. Shotgun, I recommend shotgun. But otherwise, he's a pretty fun enemy to take on. He's scary, just the way it should be. His death animation is the best. Now, moving on to the next enemy on this list. Here we go. Numero 3. El Garrador. Now, this enemy is an absolute favorite, a fan favorite as well. The first time I saw this cutscene, it was terrifying. I had nightmares for a lot of days. His eyes have been grafted, and he operates on instinct and noise. So make sure you always keep your distance from him. I recommend using a rifle or the broken butterfly against him. Never be near him. He does a one-hit kill. Watch his movements very closely. It's a very dangerous enemy. The only way you can hit him is with the parasite on his back. He's conventionally immune to normal weapons. Even grenades can only stun him for a bit. Flashbangs don't work against him. Fire grenades don't do anything to him. You can also use bells around. Usually when they're around, there'll be some bells around so you can like confuse him. He gets confused. It's like a licker and a hunter. in the nice neat little package. Just shoot him in the parasite from far away and you should be good. You can only shoot him once at a time, so once he does that, stay away from him. It's one hit kill. He should go down really easily from far away with that rifle. So just keep nailing him and let's move on to the next creature. Oh, and he also gives a crappy reward. And this footage was created by a YouTuber named Shirako. Número dos, 101 Spanish. The next creature on the list is a very terrifying creature that everyone already knows who it is. But this is one of my favorite parts of the game. El Regenerador. Very, very terrifying monster. Now, I remember the first time I came into this room. I was 12 years old, I was terrified. I was happy that the door was locked. But we all know that in Resident Evil, when you solve a puzzle or get a key card, something wonderful happens. As soon as you solve this puzzle, it should unlock the door, which will allow you to get inside. There should be a file nearby and there should be a key card nearby. Basically what that file mentions, it's actually from Luis Serra himself. He was a researcher for Los Iluminados. Basically, the Regenerator is one of the most diabolical, inhumane things that he's ever seen. He also gives you some hints on how to defeat him. They need to be destroyed with a special type of scope, which you should be able to get in a room nearby. I don't want to spoil it. So grab the key card and let's go. And as soon as you grab that, you will get a little surprise. And he comes pretty fast, and for new players this little encounter can be dangerous, so make sure you shoot him in the legs, both legs. Make sure you run past him as quickly as possible, because he will chomp on you, he will attack you while he's on the ground, he will jump around and follow you around. But yeah, he's very terrifying. He cannot be killed normally, but if this is your second playthrough, you should be able to take him out even with conventional weapons. Just keep shooting him, shoot him in the back. He's got a parasite on the back on professional mode. Other than that, just keep shooting him as much as possible until he explodes. That's when you know he's dead. He also gives alright reward, not very good if you ask me. And ooh, looks like someone's having fun. Now let's give him some privacy, please. If you go back to the room, it should be open now since the Regenerator opened it. Pretty scary, huh? There should also be an emerald in here. I used to collect all of them. I think I actually got all of them once. But once you get that emerald, you need to head back to the waste disposal center to use that key card on so that you can escape. Be on the lookout for some whispering and noises. If you hear a hissing noise or a moaning noise, you know they're around. I hope the remake brings them back. They better, or else they ain't getting the money. Oh dear lord, I forgot about that Regenerator. I almost forgot about it. That one's terrifying. Now that there's two in here, I think there's another one. I don't know where he is, but if you're not careful, they will corner you, and it's basically game over. Always keep your distance. They're pretty scary. The two out here and the one in the freezer tend to run at you. That's right, they run at you if you start mocking them. It's pretty terrifying, especially on professional mode. They run a lot more in professional mode. Just keep shooting them like this guy's doing. It's Kefla again, and just keep making sure working them, and keep making your way out slowly. Make sure you hear those hissing noises, and just imagine on the remake how they're gonna implement these guys on the remake. I hope they do a really good job of them. They're terrifying. They're horrible to see. They're horrible to hear as well. The noise gets stuck at you even if they're not around. Now I think I hear another one, so I think it's time to cut the clip short and make sure we pull out our broken butterfly. Next clip. Drum roll please for numero uno. None other than the man himself. The enemy that's supposed to be cut off from the remake. This cutscene will tell you guys everything that you need to know. This cutscene alone itself is good enough reason to keep him in the remake, Capcom. Please, do not take him out.
Krauser. I died in a crash 2 years ago. Is that what they told you? You're the
He is
one who
deadly,
kidnapped
he's
Ashley.
smart,
You got
and the perfect villain for Leon.
Expected. After all, you and I both know where we come from.
Also, he used to be a former comrade back in Dark Side
What do you
Chronicles,
want?
back in 2002. And that whole adventure was very fun.
The
But that's for
Sadler
another whole
developed,
video.
That's all. Leave Ashley out of this. Oh, I needed her to buy Sadler's trust in me. Like you, I'm American. You got her involved just for that?
So there it is, everyone. Jack Krauser is my top #1 enemy of Resident Evil 4. He is smart, he's deadly. The guy uses a crossbow, for God's sakes, to fight. Now please Capcom, please keep him in the game. He's freaking awesome. Leon's one of my favorite characters from Resident Evil, from all the Resident Evil franchise. A competent main character needs its competent villains. I can't stress that enough. So I hope you guys like it. Also, his boss theme is pretty awesome. If you guys can hear it right now, it's one of my favorites. I even have the whole Resident Evil 4 playlist on my phone. So with that saying, I hope you guys like my video, and I hope that the footage was enough to convince you guys that he's a pretty freaking awesome character, an awesome villain till the end. And I didn't want to show any footage of his actual boss fight. I didn't want to ruin it for new players that might play the game, even till now, believe it or not. So I want everyone to experience his boss fights and everything else. So this is the end of the video. I hope everyone likes my my 5 top favorite enemies from Resident Evil 4. I hope that they all make it to the remake. I'm really hyped for it. I appreciate everyone that watches this video, and I appreciate all the YouTubers that created the footage and made this video possible. This is a tribute to all you guys and a tribute to Resident Evil 4. This is Shooting Riser, over and out. Until next time.